Welcome to On the Couch with Lotty Cie.
So good.
What an incredible message today. I was completely challenged and so encouraged, but also feeling like right now I'm in the gap.
So this is so funny, hey?
Oh,
Because,
funny for who?
yeah, funny for me. So church, you need to know that C and I are just such, like most of you people that are married, we're just so different people. So I'm naturally introverted, which means I recharge away from people.
Yes.
Yet I can do all of the public stuff, like speaking, and I can do all that, and I can be in public environment. I can do all that with ease. You're an extrovert.
Yes.
You recharge with people.
Yes.
So to put it in context, when we go to a wedding, as we did recently, you're on the dance floor. You're partying away. Where am I? I've snuck over to the back all by myself and I'm watching footy on my phone.
The mannerisms give it away, but babe.
No, people thought I'd fallen asleep. People thought I was sleeping. It was so amazing. Anyway, so all of that to say, when it comes to the stuff that you do publicly with the microphone, which you are exceptional at.
Thank you, babe.
You're in your gap.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
This is my gap.
Tell us.
It's uncomfortable. I actually don't like being here, but I know I have a responsibility. So that's where God meets me, in this place, to help me, fills me with peace. And I tell myself, I can do this. Even when, like the edge of the mountain, when you said that you have that sick belly feeling your legs go jelly.
Yep.
That's pretty much me the whole time, church. If I'm on platform, then I've got jelly legs. But anyways.
Is your hand shaking?
Can you not point it out? Thank you, everybody.
Tell me this. Are people encouraging to you about what you do on the couch or?
Is laughing encouraging?
Like,
Yes.
are you talking about me?
People are generally encouraging to me. But yeah, laughing's not encouraging.
That's only what I do every now and again when you do something that I find particularly enjoyable. And I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing with you.
Thank you. A question. Come on.
Yes, I'd say, church, continue to encourage C, because my impression is you come across on that camera and anything that you do in front of people, like, beautifully. Anyway, so, all right, question. Do you remember?
Ready.
Do you remember the gap scenario I described with Oscar?
Yes, very clearly. And as you were preaching, I was just visiting that whole experience in my mind.
Yes. So I described it from a dad's perspective.
Yep.
Did you feel that from a mum's perspective? Did you feel the gap, or maybe did you? Because I'll get my words out. Because I feel like you were born to be a mother. I feel like that's in you.
Yeah.
You thrive in that space. How did you go when on that first day?
Well, to backtrack, when I found out I was pregnant, I felt like that was my gap moment. But when he was growing inside my belly, I felt like I can do this. I'm born for this. I love being pregnant. I love doing life being pregnant.
Let's do it again.
Not from this one. But the moment when the delivery was taking place and he was in our arms, I just felt like, yes, it's happening, it's real, and now I need a nap. I'm exhausted.
Yes, probably still feel that way. Okay. It went on from there and it spoke about this gap. We are middle-aged people.
Yes, correct.
We like to think we're young, don't we? Okay, we are young middle-aged people.
Yeah.
You've had enough life experience to talk about some times when you have stepped into the gap.
Yes. And
God has met you there and something supernatural has happened both in you, internally and externally. Miracles outside, miracles inside. You got a memory or you got a space that you can speak into that?
Yes, I've got a couple. Youth pastoring, when our senior pastor, when we were attending church, Pastor Steve, came and visited us.
Yep.
And he asked us to be the youth pastors. And we didn't really know what that meant. And it was just like, yes, but I believe that God met us in that gap because he gave us so many ideas and just plans moving forward on how to love people, how to disciple people, how to bring people in, how to mentor people. That was definitely a gap moment where I feel like I'm actually living my dream right now, although I never really thought that that's what I was going to do at that time, but just loved being in the house of God and serving, and just thought, okay, God, yep, we can do this.
Yeah.
But just fully just believed wholeheartedly that God was going to give us the tools and the people, the resources to do that.
So words like vulnerable, inadequate,
Yep.
insecurities coming to the surface.
Yep.
Did you experience those?
All of those. Yep.
Yeah.
Feeling like I'm too young. I haven't had the experience. I've just scrubbed toilets and met people and played games and had a lot of fun, but now I'm responsible to lead these people.
Yeah.
But it's amazing when you've had moments like that where you just fully just pray and seek God and just know that he's going to come through, then your faith just gets built for that next week, and it's just layer upon layer upon layer upon layer. And then you feel like just God is with you and he's for you.
Okay, so do you feel like since, because that was a big step into the gap then,
It was.
do you feel like you've ever stepped out of the gap?
No. Not out of the, I feel like I'm in the zone, but I feel like there's just been more gaps along the way.
Yes, tell us about that.
Like the Shine program, when you'd come home and suggested that that was an opportunity for me to go into this high school to do this program.
I like how you presented that today.
Well,
because last time you talked about it, you said, I told you what, and I thought, oh, geez. But this day I suggested.
Well, you had said that, here it comes, everybody. I told what you said? I told my wife. I told the school that my wife can do that, is what you said.
I told the school that I would suggest it to my wife.
Not suggest, told. Yes, it was told.
Yes, good.
Anyways, moving past that,
Yep.
Shine. That was a really amazing program to be a part of. But that was a gap moment for me, because at that time in my life, I didn't know how to do makeup or pedicures or nails. I mean, I could paint my nails, but I didn't know there was a technique.
Yes.
So I had to seek wisdom and get help and how to do tutorials. And that moment was definitely a gap moment, because God spoke to me in those moments and filled me with his confidence to be able to speak into the lives of others.
What is it like to be filled with God's confidence when you know you're outside of your ability?
It's like a complete peace that he gives you. It's almost like adrenaline that you're ready to bring something forward, a race that you're about to do, but you feel fueled by God. And it's just like he's cheering you on the sideline. Like if you've done a swimming race and you've got your mother walking down the side of the pool, just yelling, go see, go see, go see. It's just like I can hear the voice of God saying, you've got this, I've called you, you were born for this, you're making a difference. So as inadequate as I feel in that moment, I still know that God is speaking to me. He's championing me on his, It
reminds me of that scripture, Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. You therefore, because you're surrounded by such a huge cloud of witnesses, that I love that imagery of people past cheering us on, saying, which follows the Hebrews chapter 6, which is all about faith and stepping out. And then it's saying, hey, those guys that lived way back then, they're still alive, and now they're your cheer squad.
Yes.
That's
absolutely.
good. That's encouraging.
There's another gap moment.
Okay.
Moree. So.
Hello to all our Moree family.
Yep. I just knew that we were going to go somewhere for us to grow, and just to another almost like faith injection, into our lives personally, but it's also like we had to go somewhere to grow. And so that was a gap place, but it was exciting, because it's just like we just fully like, God, you're going to provide, and we just trust you for everything. So that was a gap moment for me. Was that a gap moment for you?
Oh, more than I could have ever known. But the thing that I like, the confidence to live in the gap came through our time at Moree.
Absolutely.
So I could have said it like this. I could have said, in that time, I became comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, I agree.
Where the discomfort of my natural life, and that needs to come across the right way, because we had amazing experiences in Moree. It's just wasn't what we were used to and what we had known and what we might have thought our life was going to consist of. So when you step into a space like that, it is uncomfortable, and yet God met us there and did miracles internally and externally, stuff that we don't have time to go in. But many of you would have heard our testimony around things like that, starting in a caravan and finishing with a house. Like it's just it wasn't in our plan. We weren't thinking that was ever going to be a part of it. That's an external miracle, but the internal miracle was to know that We don't need to lead something, big to fulfill something in here.
Yeah.
We just need to be a part of God's plan and purpose for our lives.
Agree.
And the honour and the privilege that it is to lead people, whether you're in a smaller community or in a larger community, was irrelevant to that. And that's an internal miracle, because that set us free to be able to genuinely love people without a concern for what they might bring into our worlds. That's my miracle. I shouldn't say that on behalf of you, but that was very important. And I think, you know what, that's a miracle that needed to take place in my life if I was going to stand in a role of senior leading. And
here today.
And so you can see that one gap leads to the next gap.
Yes.
And at any time you can choose to take a step back. Well, it's like
your responsibility.
Yeah, it's like I described with that plane thing.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like I've said yes enough times to that my ability is now so far in the distance that I'm like, hey, if I fall from here, there's no grabbing on anything along the way. I am so far out of my ability that God, I didn't get myself here. I won't keep myself here.
Yes.
This is all you, and all for your glory and all for your outcome. I know who I am.
Yep.
You know who I am. Most of you are getting to know who I am, and I got nothing but honour. It keeps you humble. It keeps you humble, and you got nothing. The gap, I wrote out some things that didn't come out in the message, like with the time that we were able with, but one of the things I wrote down is the gap will keep you humble. It's easy to be prideful in your ability. You can't be prideful in the gap because you are so far out of your ability.
Yes.
The danger is that you step into a gap and God does something miraculous, and then your ability is kind of increased.
Yeah.
The danger is not entering the gap again and being confident to stay, well, I've now got this ability, and you can become prideful. You cannot become prideful in the gap. You keep stepping into the gap. You will keep stepping into humility, and God will keep opening up greater opportunity. God opposes the proud, gives grace to the humble.
Yes,
so,
great scripture.
Yeah.
And in that moment of the gap, reading the word just really comes alive.
Yes.
It fills you with faith, and
Yes, you need the word in a different way, don't you?
Yeah. It's just like you read the word, and daily it fuels you, sustains you. But in that gap moment when you're just relying on God to come through to help, it's like it comes alive.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, thank you, my love. You're awesome.
You're welcome. Incredible message too, babe. Love
Thank
that.
you. And thank you, church, for joining us for this online service and joining us for On the Couch. And we look forward to seeing you again next week. And God bless you for this week in all that God has for you. Enter the gap. He's waiting to meet you there. God bless.